last thing we need to do is looking to make a spring. We can of course look and find some standard springs, but what I do here is I bought like I don't remember if there were 100 something meters of 0.4 millimeter music wire, or what you call it, piano thread. Anyway, it's spring steel and it's not stainless steel type. I think at least it's not, because the other one it used to be better, more stable and more powerful. And what you should do is unwind carefully about a couple of meters. No, not a couple, 10 meters if you want to make a series of this, or at least 5 meters or something, just to be able to have something for the thread. And the easiest way to do that is just simply take it one rotation out at a time. Very boring job, but it has to be done. I'm using 0.4 millimeter thread, where you will see the original mags. I often use 0.5, 6 or even 7, 0.7, which gives a much stronger spring. But I'm not looking for strong spring, I'm looking for very soft and even spring. So I use a thinner thread, and I use about 3 times as many coils of spring material as the original mags. And that is what I don't know why they have never looked at that at the manufacturers, because that is really there where you can gain something accuracy. Because you can pay maybe $2,000 for an air rifle, but when it comes to spring, it's simply they put an over tightened spring in. They make it very difficult, many of them, to open the magazine and to reinstall the spring. And you will see the way I make the spring here and fix it. You can take the rotor out, put it back in seconds. You don't need to use tools and lights and all this in order to get it in. It's so easy compared. And as I do, I have like 5, 6, I don't even remember, places I can put the spring. But the whole goal is to, when we have this Pellet Care mag, is to have very weak spring resistance, just enough to be able to secure that the mag is rotated all the time, but not more than is necessary. And then you need the extra coils to be sure that the first pellet you have is having almost the same force as the last one. Here, compared to the Impact original mags, we have a lot of friction that we have to overcome when you roll the pellets or slugs around. Here we don't have any frictions because the pellets are fixed in that O-ring, so they're not touching the bottom and all this. And that is the whole idea of having a very light pressure, but just enough so you secure that it's constantly rotating like you want. I'll just take some extra. I know my friend Stefan, as you have seen there, printing the first one and put in the forum. He used 600 millimeter of this, and I use more, I'm pretty sure. Normally when I'm finished, I think I used 11 rotation of spring material per magazine. And no, I don't want this to bother anymore. I'll just stop here. Try to reorder this, or else you'll have a big mess. and I'm talking entirely from experience. Then I have made myself special tool, not very special and not very technical. And in this I simply have a hole. This is a 8mm hydraulic pipe and a 10mm pipe outside. Then I fix it like this, then just give it a bend. Then I use my drilling machine. Here we have 12mm diameter. Let's see what we got. Remember to turn backwards and also try to turn the thread so it's always in a position where it's following its original movement. And then just slowly start to wind it up. And there we have it. One spring. That is not too difficult, is it? But you will also make fails, wrong rotation, anything. If you cut it into length, you can always, with this 12 rotation or 10 rotation or whatever you think it's suitable. I think I use for this diameter, this is a little larger than I use for this 12mm pipe for like impact crown magazines, and on my 20 round magazines I use this one to 10. So you get this, count up rotations, free ones. You can always bend a little bit if you want to save some spring, but it should not be too difficult to cut it up in two single springs. Start like here, clean the end, then count up. It's always count full rotation: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say there are 10 with this one, and I'll always cut on the next one, so you have 10 free winds. And again, that means if you start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then I cut on number like 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, number 11. And then again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cut at number 11. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll just make it some extra. This one needs to be a special version. Take a small plier, like this. This one is to go inside the rotor, straighten a little bit out here, and then make a 90-degree bend to it, and then make a small extra bend here, like making it a hook, where it's going to be hooking into the rotor. And the other end here, to make an internal hook, take this, and then you make just a small hook which can grab into the small fingers on inside the body. It's prepared 5 or 6 of them, so you can always change the hardness of the spring in that way. And then you have to bend it a little bit here so you can get it into the end of it, to the center of the spring, because the axle for the middle there is not that thick. It's only 10 millimeters, so you need to get it closer to, or else it will be very eccentric. Just give them some twist. It's easier when you're assembling the magazine if it's closer to where it should be. Just about that. That's all it takes. Ready for putting in.
Where do I take this pain of mine? I run, but it stays right by my side.